Good morning, everybody. Dr. Rick here, dropping in on you. Hope everybody is having a great day, a great start to your day, a great week. Look, I want to talk to you here, and I want to take a different approach. Today, I'm going to be visiting you on a number of occasions, sharing with you um, some things I hope will help you along your journey, help you make some moves that can really, truly, and authentically change your life. One of the things I see probably more often than anything are people who are frustrated, upset, uh, disappointed, and even miserable because things in their lives aren't going the way that they think they should, that things aren't aligning with their hopes, their wishes, their visions, their desires, their aspirations. And what I can tell you is when you look at yourself and you find yourself in a place where you're miserable because your finances are out of order. You're miserable because your relationships aren't aligning. You're miserable because you're not in the job or the career you want to be in. You're miserable because you're not living where you want to live, how you want to live, and all those other things that to me are ancillary, like the material things. Those things are ancillary to me. Those things are secondary to me. But for a lot of people, it's a measure of how well you're doing in life. What are you driving? Where are you living? What are you wearing? All those things that have become secondary to me are in many ways the way that people literally sit up and identify, how well they're doing. And so you're miserable because it's real simple. You're miserable because your system has been corrupted. And when I say your system, there is a simple system of functionality by which everybody operates and very few people understand. Your system of functionality is the way you speak, the way you see, perceive, and interpret things or understand things, and the way you think. When things are not working for you, and it's a perpetual cycle. I'm not talking about facing difficulties. I'm not talking about facing obstacles. I'm not talking about overcoming things. I'm talking about you look up and there's been one long consistent frustration because you're not where you want to be. You don't have a clue how to get there. And every time you think you got something going, it doesn't work, and you can't look back and you can't see a string of successes. You're going to have obstacles, you're going to have setbacks, you're going to have frustrations. That's simply a part of how things work. I'm not talking about those things. I'm talking about when you look up and you know there's something better and you don't know how you're going to get there, and it doesn't seem that you're even close to it. It's because you are functioning from a corrupted system. You're either not speaking correctly, you have poor self-talk, you have poor conversation about situations, about where you're at, about where you're going. You talk more in the opposite of what it is you desire. That's one. Number two, you're interpreting things. You're seeing things as in a way that you shouldn't be. You're interpreting things wrong. See, one person sees a problem, the other person sees a puzzle. One person sees something that's a block, other person sees an obstacle. And there are two different things. A block means I can't get around it. An obstacle means there's a way over it, there's a way under it, there's a way around it. There's a legitimate way of overcoming it. And the way you think, are you thinking as a victim? Are you thinking as a victor? Are you thinking as a winner? Are you thinking as a loser? The truth of the matter is, no matter how much you want to say I'm not thinking as a loser, I guarantee you I'll come across way more people who are thinking that way than who are not. That's why 1% to 5% are significantly outperforming everyone else. You're going to have to understand that the system is corrupted. Another thing that I see is a bunch of people who are doing outward work. What do I mean by that? You think where you're going and how you're going to get there is dependent upon how you look. You've been taught that you have to look the part. You've been taught that there's some great value in your pulchritude or outer beauty or outer attractiveness and appearance if you're a man. And so you're sitting up, you're well groomed, you look good, you got the right clothes on, you're feeling good, you spend all the time in the gym, and there's nothing wrong with that. I want you to feel good about your outward appearance, but it ain't how you look that's creating the problem here. There are some people out there that society would say is much less attractive than you. There are some people out here who don't have the outward presentation that you have, that are living living their lives on their terms. There's some people out here who are absolutely killing it. They're happy, they're fulfilled, they're living their life exactly how because they know how to talk. They know how to see, understand, perceive, and interpret things. They know how to think. They got the right mindset. Their thinking habits are conducive with what they say they want in life. That's the thing that's going on with them. You are going to have to understand that it is not something outside of your control that's stopping you. Yeah, there may be somebody whispering. There may be some people who are hating on you. There may be some people throwing up roadblocks, but none of that has the power to stop you. There's something that you were given at the point of creation before you were ever conceived and born in your mother's womb that comes with you. That is a guarantee that when you set your mind ablaze, when you decide to relieve yourself of limiting beliefs, when you decide to relieve yourself of trusting in other systems, when you decide to relieve yourself and you start to trust the gift will make room for you. The gift will put you before the right people, but you're going to have to know how to talk. Not to just to other people. You're going to have to know how to talk to yourself. Some of the worst conversations that I've been able to observe is the conversations that people are having with themselves about themselves. I can't win for losing. I ain't never going to come out of this. I'm not good at anything. I'm intellectually challenged. All these things, I'm broke. Stop speaking your circumstances and start speaking your destiny, because you have the ability in your speech to declare not only to the world, not only to God, not only to the universe, but to your subconscious that there's a different reality than the one you're experiencing right now. Your system is corrupted. You're going to have to. One of the first things I do when I start working with a client is I do a system check. I do an evaluation of how they're talking, how they interpret things, and how they think. I'm evaluating the system because in most instances, the system is in need of an overhaul. The system is in need of an overhaul. There are some things that are simply out of alignment. You're talking out of alignment with your destiny. You're talking out of alignment with what you desire. You're talking out of alignment with what is deeply rooted in. You think because you know it's inside that, no, you got to stop the wrong conversations that you're having with yourself. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, but there's power of life and death in what? In the tongue. You don't understand how powerful your self-talk is to your subconscious. It's setting the standard. It's setting the expectations. And I told you this years ago, that God, life, the universe will only meet you at the level of your expectations, but your self-talk is setting the expectations within your subconscious. You're going to have to change your talk. You have to change how you interpret things. You're seeing things wrong. You're interpreting things from the position of a victim. You're interpreting things through your trauma. You're interpreting things through past experiences. You're going to have to get to a point where you stop interpreting things through your expectations, interpreting things through your demands and desires and the standards that you're setting for your life. You're going to have to start thinking with a winning mindset. I help my clients develop this winning mindset because they don't know what it is. They don't know how it looks. They don't have a clue of how to get there. The whole purpose, when I wrote Critical Mass, my 20th book, when I wrote Critical Mass, I specifically designed it to be a step-by-step introduction into the ability of adjusting the system, overhauling the system, how you speak, how you interpret and understand, how you think. It is the combination of those components that creates critical mass. Critical mass in nuclear physics is simply the point in time when all the components necessary to create a desired nuclear reaction are present. So when all the components necessary to create the things in your life that you want are present, you have reached critical mass. Critical mass is the point where things stop being impossible. Critical mass is the point where you start to move towards things and you understand that you have the power to have them. There's a power handed to you. There's a power handed to you. that you have to understand. There's a power handed to you that nobody can take away from you. There is a rod, a staff, whatever you want to call it. There's something placed inside of you that when you grasp it, when you grip it, when you finally take hold of it and you begin to trust it, you change your speech, you change the way you view things and interpret things, you change the way you think about things, and life changes. You're not going to change life without changing your thinking. You're not going to change your thinking without changing the way you interpret things. You're not going to change the way you interpret and think without changing your speech. You're going to have to make a change. Your system is corrupted. You've been talking wrong. You've been thinking wrong. Your understanding about situations are off. The question is, I deal with a lot of people of faith, regardless of religious affiliation. I deal with a lot of people of faith. Predominantly, you're going to say Christian. I deal with some people who practice Islam. I even have people who practice Judaism, Buddhism, Hinduism, and a number of other things, but predominantly Christians. And Christians talk a lot about faith, but very few Christians understand faith. Faith isn't even activated until you get to a point where you can no longer reason it or rationalize it, and it simply can't be seen within the physical realm or within the natural mind. When you can't look at it and say 2 + 2 = 4, that's how I'm going to get it. That's when faith clicks in. As long as you can reason and rationalize it, you just reason and rationalize it, do 2 + 2 + 2 + 2, and you get there. That doesn't require faith. That